After back-to-back series victories, the Boilermakers will move on to the Keith LeClaire Classic this weekend at East Carolina. Should be a great weekend. Kyle Charters here with Ben Turner and Greg Goff, the head baseball coach of the Boilermakers, for this week in Purdue baseball. We'll also talk to the shortstop for the Boilermakers a little bit later. Camden Gasser will be with us. Another great weekend. You get 3 of 4 against George Mason and Holly Springs last weekend, and you win 3 of 4 every weekend, you're off to a really good start, and that's what's happened for your team.
No doubt, Kyle. We did. We played really well over this weekend, and we continue to get better. Continue to figure out our team a little bit more, and I just thought our guys again just showed great resilience, toughness, playing with an edge, and really got after a really good George Mason team that played for a regional championship at South Carolina last year.
I think the one characteristic of your team that has really stood out through the first couple of weeks is just that resiliency, the ability to bounce back when bad things happen. You've unfortunately had some games where you have fallen behind in the first inning, and maybe that's a trend that you'd like to see change as the games go on. But the positive of that is your team has been able to bounce back.
They have. I think it says a lot about our character and our team and what they do, our coaches, and so I would definitely like some zeros early in the game, but our players just don't play the scoreboard. Things that we try to preach. We just play. We try to win every inning, and we try to continue to just have good at bats and quality at bats, and we got some guys in the lineup that have been doing a really good job of that, and we're just trying to put some things together, and so far it's worked out for us.
And the team on base percentage was in the 430 range for a 4-game series. I mean, that's pretty impressive. And you had, I think, 5 guys with at least 7 plate appearances get on base more than they were out. So talk about good 1 through 9 production there. You had some guys come off the bench and help you. What Keenan Taylor's been able to do whenever you called on him is pretty impressive.
Yes.
So I know you love that 1 to 9 where there's no soft spots in the lineup, and that seems like it's going right now.
It is, Ben. I mean, everybody has been productive to some degree, and we talked about this. We felt like we have, instead of playing 6 on 9, we feel like we're playing 9 on 9 now, and we feel like 1 through 9 we have a chance to score, and every inning we have a chance to score. And so our guys have just kind of bought into that, whether it's through a hit by pitch or maybe a quality at bat where a walk or maybe a backside single and then a stolen base, and then we've just been able to put hits together. In the inning that we scored 10 on George Mason on Sunday, I think we had 6 hits in that inning, and so it's just been really good, for us to have a good start like that. But, offensively, we've just been trying to build towards this, and our guys have been doing a really good job with it so far.
And big innings have been a specialty in your 5 years as head coach. Already the 3rd time you've had a 10-run inning. Before that it had been almost a decade before we had one.
Right.
Last had one. So that's, you don't expect 10-run innings, certainly, but
sure,
when they happen, great, so be it. But 4 spots, too. You put up 2 of those, I think, in the Saturday night game that you won.
Right.
So taking advantage when you see a team, on the rocks a little bit and pouncing on them and blowing a game open. That has to make you feel good in the third base coach's box.
It does. It just I think that's why our guys just have so much confidence, is that they believe in one another, and everybody's bought into a team approach, and so we always talk about 9-on-1 and our 9 hitters against that pitcher, and how can we wear that guy down, and how can we get to the bullpen and all those types of things. And it's been working out so far. I think Coach Marks and Coach LaRue has did a tremendous job with our offense and preparing those guys. They study the pitchers, they study the opponents, and they prepare our hitters. And I don't feel like we've been in a game so far where we didn't have an idea of what they wanted to do, and our guys were able to respond.
Logan Sutter and Luke Gaffney had big weekends again, but a week ago when we talked, you thought that maybe some of those other guys would need to start to come along, and they did this last weekend. Both your Keenans, Spence and Taylor had big weekends. Cam Gasser had a good weekend offensively. It seems like some of those other guys did start to warm up a little bit.
They did, and that's the great thing about our team, is that they don't care who gets the credit.
Mm-hmm.
They don't care who's there. They just have really bought into the team concept and what we're trying to do. But every weekend so far it's been somebody differently, and you can't say enough about Keenan Taylor stepping up there and having some pitch hints and then getting a start and stuff like that. It makes my job harder. And I tell our players all the time, make my job hard. Don't make it easy. Sitting over there and not being happy. Be into the game and be ready when your name's called, and when you get an opportunity, be successful. And so that's what they've been able to do. And I can't say enough about Cam Gasser either. I know you're going to have him on the show here in just a little bit, but from what Cam has developed into and what he's doing, not only on the field but off the field. I just can't say enough about how proud I am of that young man and what he's doing.
Yeah, I think Matt Painter has said that often this year, right? Depth is a good problem to have, but it also is a problem. and maybe that's going to be the case for you a little bit this year. The starting pitching has been pretty solid for you, especially I think with what Luke Wagner was able to do on Sunday, sort of bouncing back from his debut as a Boilermaker. I know Josh Newman really likes him, likes his makeup, likes his stuff, and it was good to see him take a step forward after what the guys had done previously for you this weekend.
No doubt, and that's what I told our team after the game on Sunday. I mean, you look up, it's 11-10, 11-1 or whatever it was. That first inning could have went either way. I mean, they had bases loaded and nobody out. And I was really, really, really happy with how Luke just kind of thought the week before he kind of got emotional and tried to throw his way out of it. And I thought he really responded this week and just pitched his way out of it. He got the count to 3-0 and he come in there and pounded some fastballs down the zone and get to 3-1, and then get to double play. Big time momentum change. I just thought we just really grew from week 1 to week 2, and really proud of him, how he handled the situation. And I thought our players really grew because you can't practice those things. You can't emulate those things. You have to do those in a game. And when the heat's on and you're in the kitchen, man, you got to either get out or get on. And he got on and ended up settling in and did a really good job.
Yeah. Speaking of settling in, Jordan Morales on Friday again gives you 8 strikeouts, a couple errors in the first inning, leads to a 3-run homer.
Yep.
But didn't seem like it bothered him. I mean, he came out there and gave you essentially a quality start when you count the no earned runs, and was still on the mound to start the 7th inning. And a Friday guy, that's what you need is, give me some innings, give me, some outs.
No doubt. And Jordan has just been again another great asset that he's been here and just a great teammate. And he's as good in the dugout after he throws and when he's on the mound, to be honest with you. But he's really developed and there were some pitches that he probably wish he had back a little bit. But, I just think our team, after we got down 3-0, I think our team just kept rallying like, hey, we know Jordan's going to settle in and give us some zeros, and that's what he ended up doing. And anytime you can do that on a Friday night after giving up 3 is pretty impressive, Ben.
The Holly Springs experience now through 3 years of it, I got you at 15-4 since 2022.
Yeah.
So that has really worked out for these early weekends. That kind of win-loss record is what you hope for when you're, having an opponent come down and meet you there. And
yes,
the comfort level feels like it has to be there, even though the guys have, cycled over a little bit. I think only Mike Bolton and maybe one of the pitchers, C.J. Backer, have been there all 3 years. So it's not all the same guys, but the team winning has transcended.
Well, when you walk into the place and they have Boilermakers on the dugouts, and they have Boilermakers in the locker room. They have Purdue here and Purdue there, and you walk in and, their support staff is, shaking our hands and giving us a hug. I mean, it's home. It's home for us, Sugar Land and Holly Springs, and I just can't say enough about the people over there and what they do for us. It's just amazing, and I think our guys feel that, and they feel at home, and I think they feel comfortable going over there. We stay in the same hotel. We kind of keep the same routine, and so it's really worked out for us.
Got a picture of the 15-0 start team up in their radio booth as well, so it certainly does feel like home over there.
Yeah.
Who are some other guys you feel like deserve a little bit of mention coming off the weekend?
I was really happy to see Carter Dorn come in. He didn't throw
He
didn't throw the first weekend, and just going back, what I do on Mondays is go back and watch all our games, just kind of see what I can do better and see how people perform. And boy, I thought his stuff was really, really good on Saturday when he came in relief. Hope he can build off of that. Aaron Suval, man, wow, it was great to get him back out there. I saw, we came in and we knew we had a 10-run lead. We had 6 outs to go, and when I saw him on the first hitter, I'm like, oh, he's back. That's the day they're not going to score off this guy, But see him, 92, 93 with his really good slider was really good to see. And Backer, C.J. Backer got in there, and Lambeau did a great job again. I mean, we got the pieces. It's just a matter of us continuing to figure those out, and that's why these early season games are so important.
Well, you're going to have a test this weekend at the Keith LeClaire Classic, to say the least. East Carolina on Friday. We'll see a pretty good pitcher on Friday night to face your guys. Southeast Louisiana Saturday. Fullerton on Sunday. I mean, this will be a good test after a couple of good weekends.
There's no doubt, and that's why we did it. I have a lot of respect for East Carolina being at Campbell and playing those guys, and Keith LeClaire was a great coach there that passed away too early, and so they have a big tournament for him. So it's a very prestigious thing to be able to go over. I think all these teams that we're playing this weekend will be in a regional at the end of the year. So I think it's a great opportunity for us. They all got great arms, and we're looking forward to the challenge. I think our guys are ready for that opportunity, and excited to get back over there and get a chance to play in a great environment on Friday.
Yeah, it'll be excellent. Feels like spring here. Certainly will down there as well. Looking forward to this weekend. Thanks,
yes.
Coach.
All right.
All right, we'll take a quick break. We'll come back with Cam Gasser. That's coming up next on This Week in Purdue Baseball. Shortstop Cam Gasser with us on This Week in Purdue Baseball. Cam, it's been a couple of good weekends for the Boilermakers, including this last weekend, winning 3 of 4 against George Mason. You've become a central part of all of that. Are you feeling pretty comfortable in your first year in West Lafayette?
Yeah, absolutely. Right when I got here, the guys brought me in with open arms, including coaching staff, and felt comfortable here and wearing the Purdue uniform and being out there. It's been awesome. So been awesome to go out there and represent, like I said, this university and with the guys we have.
It seems like you've hit the ground running here. You've hit safely in 6 games, making your mark at the bottom of the lineup. You moved up a little bit into the number 2 spot this last weekend as well. Played solid defensively, obviously, at shortstop. Just how do you feel about the start?
Yeah, feel great overall, individually and just team-wise. I think the chemistry with this group is awesome. We definitely have the pieces to do something awesome this year, and just got to keep our head down and one day at a time. And I think this group's got that.
You're a redshirt sophomore, joining us after 2 years at Michigan. Didn't play that first year, and then got some early starts last season for Michigan. We've seen what the redshirt year has done for Luke Gaffney here over the first couple weekends.
Yeah.
I know it can be frustrating, I'm sure, to not play that first year, especially if you're a star in high school like you were. Yeah. But looking back on it, does it help you get kind of more acclimated more quickly?
Yeah, I mean, my freshman year, unfortunately, I tore my labrum, so it was more of an injury than a playing ability. But just getting over that hump and then just kind of having confidence is the main thing when you come into college. You're playing dudes who are 4 years older than you, a lot more mature body-wise, whatever it may be. So just being comfortable can be a challenging part as far as that transition from high school to college baseball. But yeah, Luke Gaffney, he's doing his thing. But yeah, I think just as far as my injury, I rehabbed it the way I needed to. Put myself in a position that next year to try to play, and just if you're not playing, just when you are sitting, trying to get better, still learning the game, and just having confidence that your time will come.
Yeah, you make a great point that those of you guys that came into college post-COVID, these eligibility extensions, I mean, these guys are 23, 24 years old that would be in pro baseball, independent ball, whatever, and you're still having to battle them for playing time and then go on the field and take them on too. So it's been very unique for everybody that graduated after 2020 coming into college. So we salute you for finding a way. Comfort level at shortstop, I was curious, regardless of who's playing at second base or third base, because there have been a few different guys that have been next to you. It feels like you guys have been pretty locked in for what you're supposed to be doing defensively, because, man, that makes a huge difference, especially as the opponents go up in a level. Yeah.
I think Coach Marks and just our coaching staff in general has done a great job of putting us in the right positions, whether we're shifting, whether it's bunt coverages, certain guys on base, whatever the situation is. They do a very good job of putting us in a position to succeed. And then it's just going out there and trusting your abilities. And like I said, we have the pieces. So, whoever's in the lineup, it really doesn't matter. All of them can play. There's guys sit the bench that it's like, dang, they're getting shafted because, I mean, they're good enough to play at this level and for this team, but we're so deep. So like I said, who's ever out there, we're going to do our best, but we also know that the coaches are going to put us in a great spot to succeed.
You came into a situation where Purdue was replacing its 2 middle infielders and also brought in a lot of guys to try to fill in at shortstop and second base. How did you try to sort of carve out your little area and then ultimately become a guy that's going to be a regular, it looks like, in the lineup?
Yeah, just playing my game. I think, don't try to do too much. Don't try to do be someone you're not. Be you, play the way I've always played, and that's hard and with a chip on my shoulder. And I think that's a lot of the guys in this group. Just that gritty, have a little edge, and that's what you need, and that's what you need in college baseball.
Part of that is to play a solid defensive shortstop. It seems like you're pretty good at that. Part of that also is to be able to run a little bit on the bases, right? You sold 46 bases as a senior a few years ago. Obviously at Purdue, there's sort of free reign to run at times with Mike Bolton Jr. and Cooper Kornblum. Do you want to become that third guy, sort of like Evan Albrecht was the last couple of years for Purdue?
Yeah, absolutely. That was one of the things that attracted me to Purdue was Coach Goff's offense and how he ran things. He wants you to put pressure on the defense. He wants you to play balls to the wall, and that's how I play. So coming here and knowing that, I knew I could use that to my advantage, and just making sure that we're smart on the bases, but again, being aggressive, and he's all for that. So.
Yeah.
Always great to have a nice mix of guys from in terms of where they're from. We got guys from Australia, we got guys from Vancouver Island, and we got in-state guys. And you represent the in-state side of things. So let's get into that a little bit. Southridge High School, you win state titles in football and baseball during your time there. Obviously, all-state in baseball. Kyle mentioned the 46 stolen bases. I think he hit over 500 as a senior, pretty impressive. But I think one of the coolest things that jumps off your bio page, Conference Player of the Year in football as a wide receiver and return man.
Yeah.
I mean, to win that award with those, maybe you played quarterback too, I don't know, but you got to be pretty damn good at those two positions, I would think. And if you're Conference Player of the Year in those roles.
Yeah.
Did you feel like baseball was clearly your best sport, or basketball was in the mix too? Were you just the classic three-sport guy?
Yeah, small school Indiana kid.
Okay.
Grew up, just going to all the Southridge games, all the sports. So you want to be that guy, and just had an opportunity to still play all three, and absolutely loved it, man. I think people try to, specialize and only play one sport. I think that's what I miss the most from high school, is just keeping my baseball legs and type things fresh, because I get to play basketball and football and all these other sorts of things. But yeah, I had a lot of fun. We had a lot of fun as a team in high school as far as all three sports, and had a lot of success, and I'm just glad I was a part of that.
Yeah, Kyle and I come from a generation where everybody wanted to play as many different sports as you could. This specialization that it is now, it's just a different world. I understand why they do it, but I think what you experienced is what we look at as the ideal way to do it, if you can. Now, not everybody is as good as you, obviously. It's the way it goes. All right, I want to get into this topic. I am a proud White Sox fan, as Kyle can attest. And your former high school teammate, Colson Montgomery, is oftentimes viewed as the White Sox top prospect.
Yes,
Could be in the big leagues as early as this year. We shall see. First-round pick in 2021, so he was in the lineup with you when you guys won the state title here in Indiana. I was curious, what was it like to have a first-round pick, in the lineup with you like that? And then we saw it at Purdue, 2012. Kevin Plawecki in that era, the Big Ten championship team. It brought a ton of scouts out to see him, and then other guys got exposed, not exposed in a bad way, but in a good way, where they ended up getting drafted too. Did you feel like it helped everybody on the squad to have that marquee talent in the lineup? Yeah,
absolutely. I think, especially just senior year, the amount of coverage that he got helped me. But just me and Colson growing up, we were great friends, and just kind of always push each other, whether we knew it or not, to be better. And once we got to high school, and we already had that chemistry since we had been playing together since we were young, we just flourished. And props to him on everything he's been doing. He's absolutely killing it. He's out there in spring training right now. So hopefully this year he's in that lineup. I know they could probably use him, considering their record the past few years.
I can attest.
And feel free to take shots at the White Sox.
Yeah, but he's got all the ability in the world, and he's the right person for that job.
What is your alliance? Is it going to be the Sox now, perhaps?
It's a little tough.
It's Cardinals, Cubs guy?
I actually grew up a Yankees fan because of Jeter. Right. He actually did too, whether he wants to say that or not. But I grew up a Jeter fan, but most definitely we'll be keeping track of him and rooting for him the whole way.
Purdue plays up at Michigan this year in May. That'll be a return trip for you. That has become more common here in the transfer era with guys playing their former schools. We saw Paul Tates do it here the last couple of years, obviously, against Indiana. What will that, though, be like for you going to see some of those guys?
That'll be awesome. That's been circled. It's been sticky note up on my bedroom door as I leave every day. I look at that date. So, yeah, we want that one. I want that one. And it's not necessarily bad blood, but just want to prove something to them. And I think our team can go in there and put it on them for 3 games is how I believe. So, and I want to do my part in that, to say the least.
Well, it's been a very long time since Purdue's been there. In fact, April 2015, ridiculously long.
Yep.
Like it's like a non-conference trip almost. But yeah, we can see why you might have that one circled. We like to give you an opportunity to shout outs for teammates, maybe somebody we haven't discussed. Somebody flying below the radar a little bit, who deserves some love here on This Week in Purdue Baseball.
Yeah, I think a couple guys. Obviously, the guy who's been getting the love, but Luke Gaffney. Dude's absolutely killing it. Obviously with Brett going down, he steps in there and just makes the most of it. You can't give that kid enough props. But like guys who are just go at it every day, like Wes Gingrich, and who just Purdue Boilermakers. They put their head down, go to work every day consistently. They don't complain. They're awesome teammates. They're awesome dudes off the field, and those are guys you want on your team, and those are guys that you want in your foxhole.
We like to end the player segment with what we call personal preferences. There are no wrong answers. We're just trying to learn more about you, Cam. We do have you pick a number, though, between 1 and 30 this week.
We'll go 24.
24. All right. Pick one for a vacation. You want a free trip. Beaches, mountains, or an extended road trip?
Oof. I'm going to go mountains. The beach is nice, but there's just something about the mountains, and especially if you can get like mountains with a lake, some good vibes up there.
Are you a skier or a snowboarder?
Not much. My dad got me into hiking a little bit, so we used to go out west and go through some trails and stuff like that, and I enjoyed that. But just the scenic part, I think, of the mountains just beats the beach. As
native Midwesterners, the three of us, there's something about when you see mountains,
yes.
You just feel different because we don't ever get to see them.
I see cornfields every day, so yeah.
Whether it's Colorado or the Appalachians or whatever, when you get to see them, you're like, man, I'm somewhere fun and different.
Yes.
There's something you can't beat that feeling.
I agree.
All right, so between 1 and 30, don't pick 24.
7.
Your number. We'd love to have your number get selected. And this week, that question is funniest teammate.
Oof, that's a tough one.
You can give multiple names.
I'm gonna go Corbin Malott.
Okay, another in-state guy.
Yes.
Did you ever go up against him in high school?
I didn't. No, we knew of each other, but never played against each other or anything like that. And once I got to campus, we became tight pretty quick, and he's an awesome guy.
Cool. Another versatile infielder like you, although I've seen him in the outfield a little bit.
Yeah, he's a little bit of everywhere right now.
All right, last one. Between 1 and 30, don't pick 7, don't pick 24.
We'll go with 1. Why not?
Favorite professional team? We already kind of did.
Newark, here, we'll go 3. How about 3?
Got it. Your call. You want number 3 instead?
Yeah, number 3
Got
instead.
Okay, no problem. Family member or person who's had the biggest impact on your athletic career?
I would go with probably my mom's mom, my Nana. She would just sit out there and throw wiffle balls to me for hours straight.
Wow.
She was the best, and miss her every day. But yeah, I think she definitely has her handprint on my athletic career.
Wow. Did she have a background in playing or anything?
She did a little bit, but she didn't go anywhere college. But she definitely instilled the grittiness and the toughness into me. And anytime I ever wanted to do anything that was athletic-wise or extra work or anything, she was always right there for me.
Cool, that's good to hear. We did not expect that one, and that is why we asked these questions.
Yeah, great answer. It'll be a big weekend this week at East Carolina. You got some good competition. How do you guys keep it rolling?
Yeah, just again playing our game, just sticking to what we can do, keeping the foot on the pedal, being the aggressors, and just getting after teams and playing our brand of baseball.
Yeah. Well, best of luck. Thanks for the time. Nice getting to know you.
Thank you.
That's Cam Gasser, shortstop for the Boilermakers. We will be back again next week at this time as we get set for the home slate at Alexander Field as the Boilermakers will return home. All right, that'll do it for our show for this week. For Cam, Greg Goff, Ben Turner, I'm